Welcome back to Left to Read. Today I'm going to be doing my November TBR. It's already November and I am fully in the Christmas spirit. I'm sorry, I apologise to everyone who's still getting over spooky season, but for some reason this year I am so ready for Christmas. I've already started adding some decorations around the house, bought some new Christmas candles. That being said, this isn't a Christmas video, so let's move on. We've got to make this quick because I started filming at 3 o'clock and the light is already going down. I've got to start filming earlier if I want to have some natural daylight. So the first book that I want to get round to in the month of November is Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. This is a book that I mentioned in my Halloween reading vlog. It was one that I was considering picking up for that vlog, but I didn't think it fit for what I was going for and what I was in the mood for. But ever since I did mention it and pulled it off my bookcase, I've been wanting to read this. So I'm desperate to get around to this month. I'm honestly wanting to pick it up straight away. I have watched the film before, but I remember nothing about it. And me and James have been wanting to do a rewatch, but I've said that I want to read it first while I remember nothing about it, because I know I love the film and I know I'll enjoy it again. But while I remember nothing, I want to read the book. What I do know about this book is that on this place called Shutter Island, there is a mental institution and one of the patients has gone missing. They don't know how, because she was in a locked facility and they had surveillance on her at all times. She has murdered in the past and she's now missing. Two detectives come to Shutter Island to try and help out. That's all I do know about this. I'm really excited because I remember how much I love the film and I remember this being exactly my type of story. I've heard great things about the author, so I am super, super, super excited about this book and I have high expectations. Hopefully I'm not let down. But yeah, this is definitely like the first book I want to pick up. It feels smaller now I'm holding it this time too, and the text is pretty good too. I don't want to open it like too far in because you might see something that's a spoiler, but text is pretty good. It's smaller than I expected. It's around 400 pages, but honestly, for some reason, I thought this was bigger than it is. So I'm super excited to get around to this, as I've said. The next book I want to get around to in the month of November is Carl's Doomsday scenario by Matt Dinnerman. This is the second book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I absolutely loved the first book. It's lit RPG. It's perfect for gamers. The humour in this is exactly my type of humour. I don't do well with humour in books, but the humour and the references in this are kind of so silly that it doesn't feel daft, if that makes sense. I think me and James say this is like exactly how our type of humour. It's not trying too hard. It just, the jokes are so obviously there and just so silly and so funny that I can totally get on board with this. I don't like it when humour it feels a little bit too forced or too jokey. This just feels like a silly, goofy time. Even though I say that, there are serious elements to this book, to the first book at least, and the story around it, which I can really appreciate it. And this is just everything I would want in a book like this. It follows Carl and his ex-girlfriend's cat. He's basically looking after his ex-girlfriend's cat at the time, and then all around the world, buildings are collapsing and people are getting transported into dungeons. It's kind of apocalyptic, dystopian. They have to survive in these dungeons while being watched by people live on TV as well. I'm really excited to get around to the second book. I wanted to read it last month, but then I got totally sidetracked by all the Halloween books and horror books that I wanted to read, so I ended up leaving that till this month, but I'm so excited to get back to this series. The next book I want to read is one I actually don't own yet, but it's Watermoon. I can't fully remember the author's name. I think it's Samantha something, but Watermoon has been on my radar for a little while now, and I was just browsing the other day and I saw it was one of Waterstone's Book of the Month picks, and it just inspired me to pick it up. It reminded me that I wanted to read this and that it was on my TBR, so I ended up getting it on Libro. So I have the audiobook there ready to go. I think it'll be the perfect book to read at this time of year. It feels like it's going to be kind of cozy, wintry type of vibes. All I know about this one is that there's a girl, I believe, that her father has went missing, and then her and this stranger that she meets end up going into this magical world to try and find her father. That's as much as I know about it. From what I've seen of it, it feels like very much Studio Ghibli vibes. I've only watched 2 Studio Ghiblis so far. I loved Spirited Away, that's my favourite so far. And I'm looking forward to reading that in a book. I have also got Howl's Moving Castle in book format too, but I haven't heard great things about that, so I'm a little bit nervous. But I'm excited for Watermoon, so yeah, I thought this would be the perfect time of year to pick it up. And then the last book that I want to get around to finishing this month is Under the Dome by Stephen King. I've been reading this mainly on dog walks and just doing house tasks, chores around the house. I'm enjoying it, I'm having a good time, but I would like to get it done this month. It is a big book. I'm honestly not sure how far through I am. I haven't checked the audio in a little while, and I know my page mark isn't up to date where my bookmark is, so I don't know how far through I am, but I'm pretty sure if I get my head down and listen to this as much as possible in those times that I can get this done this month. Under the Dome is set in this like little town, I think it's called Chester's Mill, and it's been all of a sudden like sectioned off from the rest of the world by this invisible dome. People can't get into Chester's Mill and people can't get out of Chester's Mill. And it's basically trying to find out what it is, what's caused it, and surviving while they're being locked away from the rest of the world. I'm having a good time with it. I haven't read a Stephen King for a while, I don't think. And this has been on my TBR for a long time. I've owned it for a long time. And I just felt the urge to pick it up a month or 2 ago. And I'm glad I did. I've now picked it up. I'm having a good time. I don't think it's going to be like one of my favourites by him, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. So I'm excited to get this finished. And that is all the books that I want to read in the month of November. I've only chosen the 4 because I have a lot of uni work going on. I'm starting a new job. I just have a lot going on in general, and one of the books is pretty big. And also, just in general, I don't do TBRs a lot because I feel like I fail them quite easily because I'm such a mood reader that in 3 days' time I can change my mind. But these are the books that I'm like pretty certain that I want to read and I will get around to. So I'm confident that I will get around to most of these, but I didn't want to make a full like 10 book TBR knowing 1, how busy I am, and 2, how likely it is that I will get around to those 10 books when my mind will probably change in a couple of days. I hope you had a great October. Let me know if you've read any of these and what your thoughts are on them, without spoilers of course, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!